Right, let us start. Kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame bante buri panya tathagata kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame dhamma sanditika akalika kayena vacha chittena pamadena maya katang achayang kamame sangha supatipanna anuttara sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami. Dhammang saranang gacchami. Sanghang saranang gacchami. Tisarana gamanang paripunang panatipata veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adina dana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Abrahmacharya veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musavada veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Sura meraya majapamadatthana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Vikala bhojana veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Nacha Gita Vadita Visuka Dasana Malaganda Vilepana Dharana Mandana Vibhusanatana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Uchasayana Mahasayana Veramani sikkhapadang samadhiyami. idang me silang magapala nyanasa pachayo hotu appamadena sampadeta sadhu sadhu sadhu. Okay, let us start with karuna, guided compassion. I sit here, relax the body, keep the mind open, calm and peaceful. Be present. Whatever tension in the body, tiredness, imagine we let it all go. Let go from top of the head to the forehead and face, to the neck and shoulders, arms, the chest area, to the stomach area, to the spine, to the back, to the hips, buttocks, thighs, down to the knees and calf, down to ankles, soles, toes. So relax the whole body. Or keep the mind calm, peaceful, present. Now let us imagine we're in a doctor's clinic, and perhaps there are a number of patients waiting to see the doctor. Now while we are standing there or sitting, then we wish them to be free from all their sufferings. Without falling into sadness or sympathy, but just truly wishing them to be free from all their sickness, all their illness. Now let's start with oneself. With this compassion, whatever mental suffering I'm going through, may I be free from all those sufferings. May I be healed from all my anger, restless mind, jealousy, and so on. And whatever physical suffering, physical pain I'm going through, may I be free from all those pains, free from aches, free from disease, illness, whatever chronic or acute pains. May I be free from all these pains, all these bodily sufferings. And whatever suffering I go through from day to day, association with others, through our work, our career, our job, or through family life, and so on, may be free from all these sufferings. May I too be free. Whatever suffering that I go through due to the cycle of birth and rebirth, due to old age, due to sickness, finally death and rebirth again. So may I be free from all the sufferings of life. Now let us expand our compassion. Expand our compassion to the beings around you, monks and nuns, yogis, workers, helpers, volunteers, supporters, donors, to all the guardian devas of this center, to all other devas residing here, to all the petas, the unfortunate beings, and to all the animals, big or small, seen or unseen. Whatever mental suffering we are going through, may we be free from all these mental sufferings. Whatever physical pains or disease that we are going through, may too we all be free from all these sufferings. And whatever suffering due to going through from day to day, trying to live, may we all be free from all these sufferings. And whatever suffering due to the cycle of birth and rebirth, due to samsara, may we all too be free from all this suffering. Whatever mental suffering that we are going through, may we all be free from all this suffering. And whatever physical suffering, physical pain that we are going through, may we all be free from all these sufferings. And whatever suffering due to living from day to day, may we all too be free from all this suffering. And whatever sufferings that we go through due to the cycle of birth and rebirth, may we all be free from all this suffering. Now let us expand. Let us expand our compassion, reaching out to all the beings in this country. May they be humans or non-humans, devas or petas, animals big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all of us in this country whatever mental suffering we are going through, may we be free, may we be healed from all these sufferings. And whatever physical pains, illnesses that we are going through, may we be free from all these sufferings. And whatever sufferings due to cycle, due to living from day to day, may we all be free from all these sufferings. And whatever suffering that we are going through due to the cycle of birth and rebirth, may all of us be free from all these sufferings. Now let us expand further. Let us expand. Let us expand further, reaching out to all the beings in this world. Whether they are our loved ones, near or far away, or whether they are those people whom we do not know, or to those whom we dislike or those who dislike us. We spread the compassion without exception. To all the guardian devas of the sasana, to all other devas residing in this world, to all the unfortunate beings, and to all the animals, big or small, far or near, seen or unseen. May all beings in this world, whatever mental suffering they're going through, whatever anxiety or depression, whatever fear or anger, and so on, may they be healed from all this suffering. Whatever physical pains, physical illness that they are going through, may they too be free from all this illness, all these pains. May all beings in this world be able to live with kindness and compassion and not in cruelty or violence. May all beings, whatever suffering they go through from day to day, may they be free from all their suffering. Free from all the suffering due to the searching of food, due to going through seeking for a job, and so on. And may all beings in this world, whatever suffering due to old age, sickness, death, birth, may they too be free from all that suffering. Now let us expand. Expand the compassion, reaching out to all beings without exception, without boundary, to all the beings in this universe or universes, to all the beings from the highest planes of existence down to the lowest planes of existence, to all the beings in all the world systems. May all beings without exception be free from all kinds of mental suffering. Whatever mental suffering they are going through, may they be free from all these sufferings. And whatever physical sufferings, physical pains, illness they are going through, may they too be free from all this pains and illness and disease. And may all beings be free from all their suffering due to the living from day to day. And whatever suffering they go through due to this samsara, may they too be free from all these sufferings. May all beings that go through suffering, may they be suffering free. May all the suffering ones be suffering free. May all beings be free from all kinds of suffering. May all beings be free from all kinds of suffering. Now slowly let go of the compassion. Bring the mind back to the present. Feel the body rise and fall of the abdomen. Feel the sensation. And then we can slowly open our eyes. All right. Yesterday we looked into the Vipassana and how this type of joy sometimes during in the noting, it slowly becomes stronger and become more predominant because of usually, as I said, one of the common ones is where the body starts to move especially during sitting. When it's moving continuously, if the yogi is not mindful of it, then the joy will start to become stronger and stronger. And sometimes, if not checked, there can be a problem in the sense that the whole noting mind will collapse. But just enjoying the various types of joy that arises with the yogi. So if the yogi is mindful, noticing the sensation that is happening in the body, sometimes strong movements that arises. As I said, once in a while it happens, not continuously. Maybe perhaps per sitting, it just happened once or twice or 3 times, but not continuously. Then it's perfectly all right. Once in a while, this type of forces can be quite strong in our practice. But the problem is that when it starts to become stronger and become more continuous, as the forces in the body starts to push and push and push continuously, yogis usually in the beginning part of it, they begin to follow its rhythm of that pushing. Then the body will start to move. As the body starts to move, then the movement of the body becomes more predominant than the internal pushing, internal wind element, pressure, and so on. And with that, because of the body's moving, then the body become relaxed. All the pain and all the sensation, all the unpleasant feelings begins to getting less and less because your body is keep moving. And with that, if the yogi is not careful, it go further and further, and then the joy becomes more predominant. If you're not careful. So usually normally these things happen in many yogis. Yeah. So hopefully you don't go until like too much already, then it becomes difficult for you to stop the body. Yeah. So here our practice is to learn to stop the continuous movement during the sitting. Yeah. During the sitting, if it's continuous movement, notice it, try to stop it. Beginning part is going to be difficult because sometimes you're not used to it. But you make determination, and you make intention, you make strong intention to keep your body still. And then when you keep your body still, then your noting mind go back to the internally into the body and try to note all this wind element that is pushing around the whole body sometimes. Left, right, front, back, whichever that comes up. So again and again, you try to note them until your body can stay still. Until your body can stay still. So with that, then the mind will keep on continuing noticing the sensation, strong sensation, clear sensation, and at time the body, you just go on with the meditation itself. So many yogis will feel this type of pressure pushing around the body, coming up. During the walking on also, you have to be careful in the sense that this one is left less often, not too many yogis have it, but once in a while, some yogis also do have it, once a while. And if they find that the leg starts to move quite a lot, like pushing to right to the side, right to the front, right to the back, it's quite a very drastic movement. And if it happens again, like the same principle happened once or twice per walking, then it's not a problem. Just make sure that you're alert and be careful of it. Then if it's happening more frequently, again, the same principle, try to keep the leg to your lane. If not, sometimes that pushing of the body, it will start to go into others' lane, or you starts to do all kinds of wrong things because of the joy that comes up. Again, with that walking also, when you start to push too much, or you start to move a very drastic movement too much to the left, to the right, all kinds of movement. Actually, all the tension of the leg and everything also starts to go away. And it kind of felt quite good. And some yogis felt quite buoyant, quite light. As if like when they walk, as if like they're floating on air. Yeah. Some people with they're floating on air type also is a kind of joy, it's kind of lightness of the mind. So they feel good during that time, feel elated also. But there are certain times there are a lot of vibrations happening in the leg while you're walking. Now, these vibrations, if it's not disturbing to the noting, then you keep on paying attention to it. You may see it sometimes like it's kind of like little vibration here and there. Then you see the little bit here of vibration and here there. That it still doesn't disturb you in your meditation. In fact, that actually it's a good object actually. Yeah, it's a great object actually. The clear object that time. Yeah? Uh, so you don't purposely do it, but it naturally comes to the yogi. Sometimes beginner yogis, or you haven't reached to the level, you think that other yogi purposely do these type of things. Usually they don't. They cannot. Usually purposely also you cannot do it like that. The vibration has already been expressed to the little bit movements of the body. So if that happens, it doesn't really disturb the noting mind yet, unless it becomes too much. Then it can become a problem. So again, here you have to see for yourself. You have to see for yourself. Mm. Next one. So today we're going to look into things that or recollections, recollections that you can able to arouse joy during in your meditation, during in vipassana meditation. Before we talk about that, there's vipassana meditation. Also, we have what we call the four guardian meditations. The four guardian meditation here, these are the supportive for the vipassana. Now, the first one is metta. You have metta, you have contemplation on death, you have 32 parts of the body, recollection on 32 parts of the body, and the qualities of the Buddha. And the recollection on the qualities of the Buddha. So these are the four recollections. Metta, usually we do it because it is forms in a way that it forms protection. Whether you see it or not doesn't matter. But if you do it, sometimes when you do it, there are beings around you or nearby, then they don't kacau you, they don't disturb you. Sometimes you go to certain places, you go and meditate, then there are other beings. Some people don't believe all these beings because, modern world already, where got all these things. But there are. Yeah. So the metta sometimes we do is good because not only we need to meditate, but we need to meditate in a safe and smooth environment. If there's an environment which is a very hostile, people are hostile, beings, unseen beings are hostile, animals are hostile, very difficult for you to have a calm state of mind. Uh, so this is one thing, briefly. So the next one, it's also the Marana Sati. Marana Sati is to arouse that sense of urgency. Sometimes there are dullness in the practice, so we switch over to the Marana Sati in order to stir up the sense of urgency. In other words, to stir up the effort. So when you stir up the effort, then bring it back to vipassana, then it starts. Or the next one is the 32 parts of the body. 32 parts of the body is to help us to reduce our sensual desire or even sexual desire that arises in the mind in the practice. Now, some people have more, some people have less. With the one who has more, then this type of recollection on the parts of the body, looking at them as not pleasant, not beautiful, then the mind gets detached from it, non-attached to all these parts of the body. When it non-attached to it, then the desire, the, the sensual desire begins to get less and less, and then it makes the mind settled, and then it can able to practice. So again, here it's a protection or guardian. Then you have this recollection on the qualities of the Buddha. Recollection of the qualities of the Buddha, these are to help you to arouse faith. Sometimes there are some people who are lack of motivation, the lack of nothing much, very dull, very bored in the practice. And for those who can able to arouse certain degree of faith through the qualities of the Buddha, then if they do that, then their motivation, their faith becomes stronger. Sometimes this guardian meditation, some guardian meditation, you may not feel it that much. Perhaps it's better for you. Yeah? Yeah. Like for example, like in Burma, Myanmar, a lot of people like to do this reflection on the qualities of the Buddha. They use the beats. You see them. Itipiso Bhagawa. So the 9 beats. So they have, they just go on from one beat is one quality, another quality, another quality, another quality. This is one way how they do it. So it helps them to arouse certain degree of faith. But the problem is a lot of them, with the faith arises, they don't turn into vipassana. And they feel good about themselves. So here, when we are doing vipassana, is to turn everything into vipassana. Everything, whatever that's supportive, then it turns them into vipassana. So this is briefly on this one. In the text also, there are certain things that you can do through recollection to arouse the joy. The things I'm going to say afterwards, it may not be applicable everything to you, but some may. Some perhaps it may have this one, especially for those who have faith, a lot of faith in Buddhism, a lot of faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. People with a lot of faith is a lot. Those with a lot of faith on is a lot. Their predominant power is faith. With faith, then it arouses all kinds of concentration, mindfulness, and everything in. The next type of people, which is less, is a people with concentration as predominant factor. And with concentration with a predominant factor, then with that, they arouse all the faith, the investigation of Dhamma and everything to come this one. That one less. Now, even less, there are people with strong in wisdom. Whichever wisdom, maybe it can be a wisdom from the listening type of wisdom or the reflective type of wisdom, and also, or could be also the developed type of wisdom, mental development type of wisdom. So some people are more towards this area, and they develop this area perhaps in their past life. They are much more wiser. So with that, because of that, then they pull in their faith, they pull up their concentration and everything they develop. So different yogis, different devotees have different qualities, how you approach the Dhamma, and what type of your mind factor, mental factor is more predominant when you look into Buddhism, when you look into how you look into Dhamma or how you look into the practice. Because of these differences and the Buddha able to see all these type of things, then it gave us the different types of meditation. To suit them, the different, especially the different types of samatha meditation to suit whichever they are inclined to. Yeah, this is one thing. Then with that, they come into development of insight, the development of vipassana. Now, in the development of vipassana also, due to your nature, due to your various nature that you have, various personality, how you take up an object also can be quite different. Yeah. Whether you see in the Satipatthana, you have these 4 types of object: bodily object, feelings object, mental object, Dhamma object. Again, here, these 4 objects are it's suitable. It depends on what type of personality that you may have. Later part in your development, certain of the objects becomes more apparent to you, more clearer to you compared with the other 3. Whether my words are true or not, you go and find out yourself. You go and find out yourself. Yeah. Because in the beginning part, it's all about development through use the body first. You use the body and then you arouse it and then so on. But when it comes into the deeper level of development, that is different already. It's slightly different already. Yeah? Even slightly deeper, some people still using a lot of bodily sensation. Some people more towards feeling, some people towards mind. And one doesn't make the other one better. Sometimes there are devotees, too bad, sometimes misunderstood the nature of vipassana. They thought that, oh, nowadays I don't do all this body object anymore. Bodily object is for the beginner to do. I go higher already. I do only the mind only. You're still mind with the body. You're still, yeah. There are people like that. Yeah? So it's not about that. Yeah? So this one is actually a lot of misconception about which object they're taking. Because they are taking up actually very much depend on what character you have, what type of mental predominance that you have. Yeah? But of course, I'm not able to go into much more detail than that because I'm not the Buddha. This belongs to the area of the Buddha. But the Buddha mentioned a number of things. Then we take it up and we understand it on its principle, on its principle, but not very deeply right to the minute aspect of the person. We are all of us are 2,500 years late. If we are born 2,500 years earlier and we have the chance to see the Buddha give you the actual one. You just go and meditate. Tomorrow, gao liao, enlightened already. Here you got to struggle morning, night, morning, night, morning, night. Still nothing. Now, get back to the recollection. Now, some of the recollections, as I said, you can use it even in the vipassana time, but you have to be careful. As I said, it can arouse certain joy, but make sure that that joy don't overflow, overwhelm, and it makes the whole vipassana becomes difficult to meditate. All we need to do is just to arouse that joy, bring that joy, go into vipassana and use it for noting to help you in your noting. Then things become very clear. Now there are what we call the 6 recollections. 6 that, and then there's another one called the recollection on peace. Upasamanussati. Upasamanussati. That one recollection. So altogether there are 7. Now, usually the first six, they group them together. Even in the Visuddhimagga, they group the first six together. So this one, the recollection of peace, that is another one. In the larger context, uh, in the samatha practice, there are 10 types of recollection. 10 types of recollection. So you already have six, already have one, then you have three more. So recollection on anapanasati also is one of them. 32 parts of the body is another one of them. I can't remember the 10th one. Never mind, since you are not looking into it. Now let's look into the six parts first. The first one is the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha. The next one is the generosity, virtue, and the deities or the devas. Recollection on the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, recollection on the virtue, recollection on generosity, and recollection of, and what did I say just now? Devas, deities. Six altogether. Now, this one, the first type of recollection, recollection on the Buddha, it has a specific way of actually doing it according to Visuddhimagga. But generally, here this six type of recollection. What is important? What is important is that you have done your background work already. That means that before you come over here, and since you become a Buddhist until right now, since you become from a Buddhist until right now, you have done a lot of offerings, right? Perhaps you have done a lot of kindness, act of kindness, compassion, helping, service. Maybe also you also have read the Dhamma, the suttas, or various Dhamma books that you have read. So all these things are accumulated over time, and you really need that. Because all these type of things and all the dana that you do, all the sila that you have kept and so on, you don't have to wait for the merits to come in next life, You can use it right now already. Not in terms of merit, but in terms of they will act as a strong foundation for your vipassana meditation. And one of them is where you recollect all those things that you have done. Some people, some yogis, especially from the Western countries, when sometimes I go there to teach, they have no faith in generosity. They have no faith in virtue. They don't have that heart where they want to keep the eight precepts and so on, or 5 precepts for that matter. For whatever discipline, whatever virtue for that matter, not only just 5, but human virtue also, they don't want to do that, but they want to come to meditate. Until there's one time, and then they come, I gave a Dhamma talk. This yogi just lie down like a Buddha reclining there and listen to the Dhamma talk. Like that. You do that in Asia and see. You cannot. But there are people like that. They don't care about who you are. They don't care who you are. They just do whatever they want. And they put their leg sometimes it's on the right in front. For Asians, this is considered disrespect. right? They consider disrespect. For them, they don't care. They just put their leg up and they just listen to you without a proper way of sitting or respecting at all. So, you see, sometimes they come in just because they want to learn meditation, but they don't have all the background work that they have done. So the things that you have done here, so don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate them, and make sure that when you finish your retreat, you do more and more and more. Yeah, as much as you can. Whether do a small offerings, maybe help people, maybe learn the Dhamma, and just take it up lah, just everything. Because who knows? Something that you have read in the past, you remind yourself during in the retreat, then that thing give you joy, and then it uplifts the whole mind again. With that uplifting, then the whole mind, the whole dullness, boredom, all gone. And then with that, it brings in, you bring that thing, that joy into the meditation, then the mind becomes clear. And to give you a simple example, a simple example of what you have done. Yeah. So don't underestimate those things. You don't have to wait for the next life for it to ripen your merits. Yeah. You can use them too. You can use them, as I said, in this very life itself. Whatever that you have done, whatever that you recall, you can use it in the meditation too. But you must know the limit. If you don't limit the thinking or the recollection, then it goes into restless mind. So there's a limit to it. Okay. Now, in the sixth recollection, recollection of the Buddha. Recollection of the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. Usually we start off by that Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang Samma Sambuddho until the end. The Dhamma, the Sangha also. So there are 9 qualities of the Buddha, the 6 qualities of the Dhamma, and then another 9 qualities for the Sangha. Okay. Now here, this one, to understand the qualities of the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, then you need certain theoretical aspect of this one, of what we are, of what we going to go through. Because a lot of times when we do that chanting, itipiso and so on, a lot of time people just chant and they feel good about it, which is good, which is kind of faith, and it comes together with the joy. But the missing part is the wisdom that comes together with it. They don't understand what is going through with the meaning that they chanted. So once in a while, we have to go through towards the meaning. Understanding why is it that the Buddha is called an Arahant. Understand why is that the Buddha is called a Samma Sambuddha. What is it? Why is the quality of the Samma Sambuddha? But if I go through that one by one, then it will be like a Sunday school class, We're gonna be a Sunday school. This one will be good if you teach the beginners of Buddhism, teach the youngsters about Buddhism, the younger ones about Buddhism, and then that is very good. Who is the Buddha? When he was born, all these type of things. So those things are very good to give you the background of the understanding of how, when and where the Buddha existed, and so on. But here, when it goes into the recollection, we're going to recollect, to pull out its qualities. Now, Itipiso Bhagawa Arahang. The first quality is Arahang. What is this Arahant? Then here again, the thing is with this Pali thing is that they begin to define the word of the word arahang. Define the word arahang. Say, for example, there's one definition of the word arahant is you define it as a two different word. One is ara, A-R-A, and the next one is H-A-R, R, R, H-A-N-A, H-A-N-A, let me see. So it kind of like you divide that into two parts of it. Yeah? Ara and Hatha. Ara and Hatha. Ara means spoke. You know, a spoke of a wheel of a bicycle or a wheel. You know, you have all the spokes that are coming out. Uh, then Hatha means broken. Yeah, broken spokes. So the wheel, if it's broken spokes, then the wheel is no more a wheel anymore. So what does it mean then? Then it means that the cycle of birth and rebirth are destroyed. So the word arahant, they give you, so you define it in that sense. So this is one of its definition, perhaps. Then another definition again from the word arahant itself is called remoteness, far away, because of the word araka. Again, it derives from that word, or it's kind of like very close together in Pali. So remoteness, that means remoteness from what? From all the defilements, from all the kilesa. So that is also. And again here, number two, it's because of his enemies. What is his enemies? Again, here the enemies are defilements, and the defilements here are all destroyed. That is also called arahant. So this is something like that. What else? Again here, the fourth one, because of his worthiness, is worthy. Worthy because there's no more defilement there. The mind is totally purified because of his worthiness. Also come up from the word. And then again here, the fifth one is an absence of the secret of evil doing. There's no, even in the, when he's alone, when he's alone, there's no evil doing in his part, whether in action, whether in thoughts, or whether in speech. Some people nowadays, in front is all very good, but at the back, all like kui. Worse than. But today is supposed to be a hungry ghost, that's why all bing bing pong pong, all everywhere. Maybe people are afraid. The Chinese have a lot of all this thing. This morning I went for a walk and hiking. Nobody in the jungle, nobody in the forest. Usually I'll see a few Chinese here and there, but today especially nobody. People are afraid of all that thing, but they don't know that their own defilements is worst. So this one, it's the meaning of arahant. So let's say if you want to recollect, on the qualities of the Buddha, and you take this word arahant out. Now, some people, what they do is that they recall that word again and again. They repeat the words again and again. Sometimes verbally, sometimes mentally. Sometimes they start off with verbally, then go mentally. But of course, here we cannot do verbally. It's going to disturb a lot of people. So they recall it in the mind. Arahang, 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 Arahang. So what is the meaning of Arahant? Every time they go through this Arahant, they remind themselves, oh, he's really totally free from Kilesa. Arahant, Arahant, Arahant. But I'm not free from Kilesa yet. Then all again here you recollect Arahang, 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 Arahang. So with that, sometimes for some people, that recollection brings them joy, brings them, a sense of elation there, especially those people with the faith predominance in their faith. To them, these type of qualities, they feel good. They feel really good. But perhaps maybe some of you, arahang, arahang, kosong, inside there, nothing much, nothing. You don't feel anything about it. Perhaps maybe you can try a few more, like for example, what else you can want to try? Samma Sambuddho, let's say, Again here, there is a definition of what is called Samma Sambuddho. But of course, since you have read and understand about why it's called Samma Sambuddho in your own words, through your understanding, through your own reading, then you can be able to use those things also. Samma here, in definition over here, Samma Sambuddho. Samma here has two meanings. One meaning is that Samma is rightly, perfectly, like Samma Sati, uh, Samma Ditti, Samma this one, and so on. All this Samma. So it's perfect or it's right one. Then the next one of the Samma is developed by oneself or seen by oneself, see it by himself, the Samma Sambuddho. So he has no teacher in that aspect. Something like that. What else? Well, there's a lot. Well, there are pages and pages and pages, I tell you. There are pages and pages and so on. Then, let's see. There's another one. Let's go through another one. Bhagawa. What is called Bhagawa? You see, pages after pages in the Visuddhimagga. So if you want, you can always go back and look into it. Okay, let me see. Okay. Blessed here, right? And this one is not. Now, blessed here is a term signifying the respect and veneration accorded to him as the highest of all beings and distinguished by his special qualities. Hence, the ancients said, blessed is the best of words. Blessed is the finest words. Deserving awe and veneration, blessed is the name therefore. So if sometimes we recall some of the words here, just by gaining that, just by recalling those stanzas that you can able to remember, then it gives rise to joy. Then with this type of joy that arises, after that, once very quickly the joy comes up, then you let go of all the recollection, use that joy into vipassana. Then very fast, the mind goes into full gear of noting. Yeah? So this is something like that. So it's actually quite a lot. Yeah. Okay. Recollection of the Dhamma. Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akaliko Ehipasuko Opanaiko. Then the first one, Swakato. well proclaimed. What do you mean by well proclaimed? Now here in the scriptures, the Buddha mentioned the Dhamma here, it's good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end. And it announces the life of purity that's utterly perfect, pure with meaning and with details. This is again here, many parts of the sutta mention it in this way. So good in the beginning, good in the middle, good in the end, well proclaimed. So here sometimes we have this type of words, we recall it, then we feel happy, we feel elated, then the joy arises. So sanditi, then the word sanditika, sanditiko, visible here and now. What is visible here and now? Then here, the visible here and now is all your insights are all visible here and now. All the sensation and all the thing and so on. And then, of course, when you go further, deeper insight, you see the impermanence, you see the non-self, you see the dukkha. Here again, visible here and now. You go further, you even see the destruction of this greed, hatred, delusion in the sense of path and friction, consciousness. You also see it for yourself, here and now. You don't have to wait for next life. Some people, Bante, too old already. By the time I meditate, I think I meditate whatever I can. I wait for next life already. The Buddha never thought like that. It's all these devotees, they twist the words of the Buddha, whatever they want, for their own, comfort and whatever, however they want to practice, But the Buddha never mentioned it that here and now, those Dhamma can be seen. Not wait until next life or future lives and so on. Here and now. What else? Akalika, takes no time, without time. Here again, without delay. That means that all these objects, whatever Dhamma that you can see, it happens right now. It happens in the past. It will happen also in the future. For example, like karma. Karma is cause and effect. It happens in the past, it happens right now, it happens in the future. There's no time limit for it. All the objects can be seen here and now. Right up to the noting mind, everything is noted in the present. Right in the present itself, we note the object. So nothing is delayed. Ehi pasiko, come and see. Inviting one to come and see. Ehi pasa imang dhammang. Come and see this Dhamma. Ehi pasa imang dhammang. Here, why is it that come and see? Why have to come and see this Dhamma? Because seeing this Dhamma, you see the purity of the Dhamma. Here in the Vipassana, the purity of the Dhamma is the purity of the mind and body. Not to say that we don't see defilements. We see defilements, yes. In the beginning, there's a lot of defilements. We see it too. But when we begin to see all these defilements, we see all the development. Slowly and slowly, we notice that the defilements getting less and less. And you can see that the mind is much more stronger, clearer. Even the defilements wants to come in, especially when you are meditating. The moment you notice it, it's already gone. You notice it, already gone. You notice it, already gone. So, in a way that the whole mind is protected, the purity of the mind is protected. So, what do you notice? What do you see? You see the purity of the mind. You see the purity of the development. So, this is something like that. Uh, or sometimes recollection of the Dhamma. You can also recollect some of the suttas and some of the Jataka tales, Jataka that being mentioned in the text. So you like, for example, there's a story in during the almost the life of the Buddha is going to seek for is going to go for parinibbana. That means his lifespan is going to end, almost ending. Then the Buddha asked the bhikkhus, is all the monks, all the bhikkhus scattered here? Then I think Ananda replied, yes, all the monks are gathered here except one. He said, except one. So why is it not gathered here? Why is it not here yet? Because he said that I will meditate until attain the arahantship before the Buddha pass away. Yeah. So he strive. So he strive to attain his arahantship before the Buddha pass away. That's why he didn't come. So with that, sometimes you recall it, it gives you a lot of joy, a lot of happiness, then you bring that into your practice, let go of that thought. Then it helps you to stir up the whole meditation. Yeah? Yeah. So again here, some of the passages that you recall from your this one is also can be used it into remember those thoughts, and then after that you use it and then you strive in during in the practice. Sometimes also we Dhamma talk ourselves. We Dhamma talk ourselves. A lot of times we give us encouragement. And then also, of course, with the yogis around also, then it also gives you encouragement, right? It also gives you encouragement to practice. You see, all other yogis are, you also like, who? If every yogi is all lepa, not doing nothing, you also be conditioned into that way. Yeah, yeah. So sometimes you see, if certain places that you go, they're supposed to be meditating one, but a lot of times they're talking and so on. Then you are meditating, everybody look at you satu macam, oh, not so sociable, these people, where I come from. Then they give you sometimes you meditate a lot. Certain places don't like it. No. They don't like you meditate so much. They want you to go and work, sweep the floor, clean the here everything speak and span the whole monastery. Meditation a little bit. Yeah. Here everything is dirty. But make sure that your mind is purified. That's the most important one. Yeah. So once in a while, we can able to recollect, the Dhamma that is being taught by the Buddha, and then we recollect those things, and then it gives rise to a lot of joy. Not only joy, sometimes you can recollect also like the lineage of lineage of this practice, lineage of this sangha. In the sense that from one generation you go on with the next generation, and then at times, because of that recollection, it gives you joy. Sometimes it gives you the sense of urgency. It gives you, for some people, it gives you the effort. So whichever comes in, perfect. If whichever comes in, it's perfectly all right, because all for the purpose of re-arouse the mind, re-alert the mind, bring it into the meditation. Yeah. Now we talk the next one. Recollection of the Sangha. Supatipanno, Ujupatipanno, Nyayapatipanno, Samichipatipanno. Bhagavat. Then here, these first few terms, Again, here sometimes we just chant it through. Uh, uh, so what does it mean? Here it means it entered in a good way, entered in a straight way, entered in a true way, entered in a proper way. Entered in a good way, straight way, true way, proper way. So what does it mean then? This is exactly what you are doing here. This is exactly what we are doing here. It's just that we all don't have the ropes on here. Exactly what we are doing here. In the whole practice itself. Entered in a good way. What does it mean, entered in a good way? Here, entered in a good way, that means we entered in the way of the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Vinaya. That means the Dhamma and its discipline. Here, we follow the teachings of the Buddha. You follow the teachings of the Buddha in the sense that you understand the morality, you practice the morality, you understand uh, concentration or calm, you understand it and you practice it, and you develop the wisdom, whether it's understanding and also the development of it. Sila, Samadhi, and Panya. So here you entered in a good way. The Buddha taught it in this way, and also, of course, abandonment of all the defilements and so on. So we entered upon that good way. So, so that is the meaning. Then entered in a straight way. Entered in a straight way, ujupatipanno. That means straight. What does it mean by straight here? Straight here, that means straight line in the sense that and you are not like going through other paths. Because sometimes even monks or even nuns or even lay people, they do certain things, but they got ulterior motive. Yeah. They do Dhamma, they do the Dhamma and so on, but they are seeking for fame and whatever they want in worldly sense. So although they try to practice, but they want something else. Not for the liberation, but something else. No, they got something else. Also the Buddha, the straight way also it mentioned that it avoiding the two extremes, the extreme of worldly excessive type of desire, and what is the other one? Self-mortification, torturing oneself. So avoid these two ways also. The way of what the Buddha taught. So straight way towards where? Towards liberation. Supatipanno. Nyayapatipanno. The third one. The third one here entered on the true way. What does it mean true way? That means here the true way, that means the aim, the goal, the objective is none other than Nibbana. None other than Nibbana itself. That is what we call the true way. That means although the person is not able to enlighten yet, let's say, his aim, his practice is towards direction for the freedom from this cycle of birth and rebirth, freedom from to realize Nibbana. And he avoids all these wrong things without all these ulterior motives, worldly desires, and so on. He avoid all those things. Practice right to the end. Then after that, you have the proper way, entered upon the proper way. How does a proper way? Here, the proper way, that means through your action, through your speech, through your thought. That means those action, those speech that others do sees you, they admire you, they respect you. In what way? In what sense? That means, in other words, you strive. You strive. You strive, once you want to strive, you also take care of your sila already that time. You take care of your speech already because you don't want to talk much. You strive that time, you want to walk, you want to sit, you want to practice again and again. So people look at you, people admire you. People admire you. So that way is a proper way. So the proper way that you strive, you practice hard, and you develop the mind for the sake of liberation. So you have this, the four types of this one. Okay. So we stop here for now. Then we're going to continue this one on Monday. So tomorrow we have a Q&A session. So again here, you can ask the questions on the Dhamma talk or on the practice or on some Dhamma. And then you put it in the box again, the box there. And for those people who are online and, where's my, wait, those people are online, then you can send your questions to Sister Hundeng. But I open up the yeah, Sister Hundeng. Okay, now we go to, okay, share screen. Okay, you send to Sister Hunling. The this one is over there, but so the cutoff time is at 3 p.m. For those who are online. And then if we have time, we'll answer your questions. So the questions also the same thing about the Dhamma talk or practice or something connected with the Dhamma. All right. So, okay, we'll share merits. Idang me bhavanam nibbana pachayo hotu. May my mental cultivation be a condition for the realization of Nibbana. Imang no punya bagang sabba satanang dema. We share these merits with our departed ones, with all beings and all the devas. Sabbe satta sukhi hontu anumodantu. May all beings be happy, may they rejoice in these merits. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.